Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome back to yet another episode on your favorite Little Slaw YouTube channel. So today in this video, we are going to see about how to do or how to monitor the results after the end of the test. So nowadays, we all know, yes, we are doing our testing. I mean, no matter what tool you use, you are using JMeter or Load Runner or NeoLoad, and those tools are actually connected to the tools like App Dynamics or Dynatrace, like application performance monitoring tool, the APM tools, right? And these APM tools actually they play a major role in collecting the servers, I mean the infrastructure resources. Say for example, it could be the CPU utilization, it could be the memory utilization, it could be the disk utilization, and also on top of that, it actually takes care of finding which process takes too much of time. So we are going to see all that in this video. We're going to see a drill down of um, how to analyze your app server. So basically, you are supposed to concentrate more into the app servers. I mean, like, yes, I understand. Yeah, we do have web servers, we do have database servers on top of that, but still, why we are concentrating on app servers is app servers holds the uh, business logic, right? I mean, like, again, the web server is always called as a presentation layer, and the app server is always called as a business layer. So that's the reason we do have to worry more about uh, the business layer, which is the application service. So in this video, I have two machines. Take for example, it could be machine A and machine B, and then we do have a proper load balancer which actually distributes the traffic between the machine A and machine B. So in this example, I'm going to show um, the bottom two machines. They run on AWS. So I'm going to show you, I mean, these were, were the app servers of one particular application, and we'll drill down the application. Before that, just to give you an overview, on the very first screen, the very first dashboard, you can see that the server A, take for example this 13, the one that ends with 13. Take it for example, it's take in this instance, take it as like server A. So the server A, the app server A, has a 79% of utilization during the test. Just assume that what happens when you are seeing at the end of the test. So it actually takes 79% of utilization of CPU and 44% of memory and 84% of disk. And then we do have the other machine, which is 85% of CPU has been utilized, 38% of memory has been utilized, and 74% of the disk has been utilized during your test. I mean, during your execution, during your load test. So you might have a question like, what is the optimum percentage of utilization? Yes, everybody has that question. So one thing that you always have to remember, that never ever get confused by the total utilization, which you now see here as 79%. The reason why I'm telling you is you have to first understand what is the CPU utilization without testing. Say for example, before you run the test, you need to have a look at the same chart. You should not check after the testing. I mean, you can check, but still, the reason why I'm asking you to test before the utilization is, say for example, if the CPU utilization was 10%, right? How much? It's 10% before your test, and now if it is 79%, which means 69% of CPU has been utilized, that is a bottleneck. But on the other case, if the CPU utilization is like 60% or 65%, and if it is 79% during your load test, then that's not a big deal, because all you see is like just 25% of your CPU has been utilized, because it's already been utilized. 60% of the database of your CPU has been utilized already, right? So you should have that point. You should not jump into a conclusion that, okay, see, my machine has a CPU utilization of 79% and that's it, it's over. My mission, my application is not performing well, my infrastructure is not performing well. It's not just about that. All you have to put into some common sense and understand what happens before your test and what happens during your test and what happens after your test. So all you have to have is three metrics for each and every resource. If you're calculating the CPU, you should understand what is the metric or what is the CPU utilization before the test and what is the CPU utilization. I mean, the maximum CPU utilization. It's not just the average. All you have to have is the maximum CPU utilization before the test, during your test, and after the test. Same applies to memory. You need to have the maximum memory utilization before the test, maximum memory utilization during the test, and maximum memory utilization after the test. It applies for the disk as well. So uh, the reason, let me just quickly do a quick recap. The reason why I'm telling you this is the amount of CPU percentage that is utilized during your test is important, and it's not just the total amount of CPU that's been utilized, right? I believe you understand. So now let's do a quick jump in. Let's do a quick drill down. So I'm opening my first machine. So if you see here, we have got 7.93% of CPU utilization. Yes, like I told you. Yep, this is what happens. I mean, uh, okay, let's take like during the test, it takes 77.93% of utilization, and the memory utilization is 44.09. The total disk space used is 83.48, and the network traffic is 10 MB per second. So all you have to document that. And the next part is here at the bottom. It shows the view processes. So click on the view processes and see which process takes the maximum amount of time. So if you see the top 5 items, so this actually shows you which item took the maximum amount of CPU utilization, and that has to be fixed. Say for example, you can understand where exactly is it tagged to or where exactly is it coming from, right? And then actually you can also see the memory used as well. So you can see both, like for a particular process, how much amount of CPU has been utilized and how much amount of memory has been utilized. And then coming back to the main screen, okay, let's go back to the next one. um, yep, I think this one, yep, this is the one. And we do have the 13, I believe. Yep, it's B13. Yep, let me just open the B13, and here we have the 20. So in this machine, take for example, this is your machine B, right? And here you can see it has a different set of CPU, memory, total disk space, and always you have to compare, or you have to have almost a similar amount of CPU utilization. Say for example, if you have like 76% of CPU utilization, you must have a closer one. The reason why I'm telling you is it's not a mandatory one, but it should be equal, because the reason is, if you are seeing, say for example, like 10% in the first mission and like 90% in the second mission, which directly implies that all the load has been to the second mission, which is where you're seeing 90%. It is not for the mission, the other mission, which is giving just 10%. Right? So you just I believe you can understand it now very easily, because all you're seeing is only one mission has been utilized and the other mission is not utilized. So it could be a load balancer issue, so that we have to fix, that we have to find. First we have to document that. So it could be a bottleneck issue, or there's another case where your one of the mission is not even running or has not been even switched on. So in that case, it will show a minimum amount of CPU utilization, or if it has not been running, or if it has not been picking up any jobs, it will show a very lesser. You can't even compare that. It'll just show 5% of CPU utilization. You might not think that okay, this machine is running well. It's not like that. If one of your machine is running with 90% or with like more than 70%, the other machine at least should have the same amount, like 50 or 60 or 70. It should not run like 5% or 10%, which means there is some issues. The same applies like if you're running your machine, like if it is having like around 11%, always make sure that you are having almost the same amount of utilization. And there is one more thing, like most of our CPUs nowadays were having powerful processors, and it doesn't mean that you should always see more than 50%. If it is like 11%, yes, that's fine. You're your infrastructure is more powerful. Your infrastructure can handle the amount of hit. So that doesn't matter, right? And the next thing is like you have to check into the logs. You have to check into the logs on for each of the missions to see whether there are any activity that has happened. And how can you see that? You can see that using event log. Just log into that mission, or even if you have access, you can just get the event logs or event viewer logs, right? So by doing that, you can understand or you can see that what is happening in that mission. So that will actually give you an idea of what is happening. And yep, in this scenario, yeah, we are seeing the amount of CPU utilization, the amount of memory usage. Same thing, I'm telling you, you have to have the before, during the load test, and after the load test to have a clear idea on what is happening. And that should be for your CPU, your memory, and for the total disk space. Okay, I believe I have given you a lot of knowledge in terms of your Dynatrace monitoring. We'll catch up with another interesting topic, maybe with another interesting thing that will definitely help you. And with that, I come to the end of this video, and I believe this video will be very useful to you. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I request you all. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And yep, until I meet you in the next video, it's bye bye from Shanmugam and your favorite Little Sra YouTube channel. Take care and bye bye.